On Instagram today, you posted that you would like Reiko to be better known. How would her or other artisans becoming famous in English speaking? Hmm? How would her becoming famous in English speaking would be balanced with Mingei? I think one thing that I have to define what Mingei is defined as the art without heroes, right? Art without heroes. And Sashiko can be part of Mingei. At the same time, Sashiko is not equal to the Mingei. And I have okay, those people who I introduce on the Instagrams are those who do not mind being known. In other words, those are the people I keep encouraging to be somewhat the surface of the internet. So I have a permission. I have a permission to introduce them. At the same time, I have probably triple amount of the people who I have not convinced yet, succeeded convincing yet. So, for example, the jacket we lended to the Williams Morris Gallery as the part of the Mingei is art without the heroes because we don't share who made it. We have 16 artisans inside of the jacket. We don't list the name. We have the name, but we don't share the name because some of them are not, willing to be on that list. We can, but we don't. So that concept itself was very resonating. Also, that can be the art with respecting or following the philosophy of Mingei. So we could join that Mingei exhibition. At the same time, some of the jacket Keiko makes is not really Mingei. I think it's more like the art. So is what Reiko makes. And what I make or Nana makes are more like the traditional classic Sashiko. Um, we don't really focus on the result much. So it's not even Mingei. Mingei is for the like for the local community. That was for the Mingei. Sashiko's principle is little more personal. The unit is smaller. Mingei's unit is more like the industry or community, local community. Sashiko's unit is family or relatives. So there's a lot of categories in Sashiko, and the Mingei does not equal to the Sashiko. Mingei is a lot bigger than Sashiko, and Sashiko is a lot bigger than Mingei too, for that matter. So it is somewhat overlapping, but it's kind of a different entity. So what I introduced as the Instagram post today with Reiko-san, I don't consider that her Sashiko as the Mingei much. It's more like the art. And I do not like, I personally do not like, I prefer not to be called artist or my work is art because I don't consider myself artist or what I do is the art. But it doesn't mean that Sashiko is not the art for everybody. And I think Sashiko can be the art. And Reiko-san and my mother Keiko is one of them too. They can be the artist. So not all Sashiko fits under the Mingei umbrella. No. Very, very, very few. Even the like the Mingei has a lot of categories, like many categories. And Sashiko is very, very, very small. Extremely small, like probably 1%. So if you buy the Mingei kind of art book, Sashiko is quite. You are lucky if you can find the page describing Sashiko. That's how small. So the book is going to be published from the William Morris Gallery toward the end of this month, I believe. And if Sashiko is a very big part of Mingei, I think the Sashiko pieces should be on the cover. Sashiko is not really the Mingei. Mingei is, in order to understand Sashiko, understanding Mingei is quite important. At the same time, understanding of Mingei is not going to define what Sashiko is. Ooh, I hope it makes sense. So umbrella-wise, Sashiko has different umbrella, and we can share some of the things, but it's quite different. I hope it makes sense. It's really difficult. Mingei itself is quite difficult to explain. No. So right there there's a lot of Mingei, but even still, not all Sashiko is Mingei. No. That's something I can say for sure. Like I can confirm. I can be quite confident say that not all Sashiko is Mingei. We say all thumbs are fingers, but not all fingers are thumbs. Ooh, that's really good way to say that. So I thought all Sashiko was Mingei, but not all Mingei was Sashiko. No. It's like two different circle kind of meeting in the center. So they overlap. The jacket they are sorry for the hitting. The jacket they are exhibiting right now can be categorized as Mingei with very, very specific 8 definitions that Mingei is defined. I think that jacket can be under the umbrella of those 8 definitions. I think. Yeah, I believe so. But not all of that. I wish I can. It's a little far. But they might have Sashiko, they might not have Sashiko. I don't know. I assume Mingei was a philosophy related to the artisans not seeking to stand out, become superstars. I'm sorry. I assumed Mingei was a philosophy related to artisans not seeking to stand out, become superstars. So I thought that might be part of your issues with Sashiko in English, the non-Japanese expert. Maybe yes, maybe no. Mingei is actually the movement by those who had choice, kind of rich people, people with power, people with privilege, people found out Mingei, well, decided to call it Mingei. So actual artisans was not really part of the movement. Mingei was created by those who had educations, who had money, who had connections to make that movement happen. And that became the philosophy because that's how they defined it. So the biggest difference is right now is that because of the internet, because of this live streamings, the artisans who were supposed to be nameless can speak up, like me. I'm not, in order to fully follow the philosophy of Mingei, I shouldn't be speaking up. I shouldn't be introducing somebody. So the artists outside of Japan calling themselves, Sashiko artists calling themselves expert, and I are completely different entity. It's not even, I shouldn't even feel sad about it because it's a completely different thing. So, but my point is that because of the internet, again, because of the internet, they can become whatever they want to be without proper credentials, proper checking, and it can overpaint what Sashiko is, what culture is like. As the result, I am speaking up. So if there were no internet, I probably wouldn't, like I have not published the book yet because I have a specific reason that specific worries that what book can do. So I hope I'm making myself somewhat clear. I know it's not clear, but Mingei has become the philosophy, but that was more like the movement